Unveiling hidden histories Wildcat Banks to Lac-Mégantic. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Silent Newsroom. Ever stumble across a weird fact and wonder, what else don't I know? That's what we do here. We dig into the stories history textbooks left in the margins. Today, we're diving into lesser-known historical events that have shaped our world in unexpected ways. From shady financial schemes in the American frontier to a potential government conspiracy, we're going on a wild ride, so buckle up, because we're about to uncover the hidden connections between seemingly isolated events that have had lasting impacts on our world today. Wildcat Banks, the currency of chaos. Imagine stepping into a bank, not a gleaming Chase or Bank of America, but a rickety wooden shack on the American frontier. That was the reality for many in the 1800s. These Wildcat Banks sprouted up, issuing their own currency. Sounds like a recipe for disaster, right? And it often was. These banks often lacked sufficient gold reserves to back their notes. People were trading hard-earned cash for pretty pieces of paper that could become worthless overnight. The Panic of 1837 hit these Wildcat Banks hard. Hundreds collapsed, especially in places like Michigan. The chaos of the Wildcat banking era eventually led to the National Banking Act of 1863, which aimed to bring some order to the financial Wild West. This act helped standardize currency and establish a national banking system. The legacy of the Wildcat Banks serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unregulated financial power. Colonia Dignidad Utopia turned Dystopia. Nestled in the picturesque countryside of Chile, Colonia Dignidad was marketed as a utopia. Founded in 1961 by a former Nazi medic named Paul Schaefer, it promised a simple life, free from the complexities of the outside world. About 300 Germans seeking refuge or a fresh start answered the call. But behind the idyllic facade, a darker reality was brewing. Whispers emerged of forced labor, of families torn apart, of residents cut off from the outside world. Schaefer ruled with an iron fist, imposing strict discipline and fostering a culture of fear. The Chilean coup of 1973 ushered in the brutal dictatorship of Augusto Pinochet. Colonia Dignidad became entangled in state-sponsored terror, serving as a clandestine detention and torture center. It wasn't until 1997 that Schaefer fled the colony. He was eventually captured and convicted of child abuse charges, dying in prison in 2010. Colonia Dignidad stands as a chilling reminder that evil can flourish even in the most unexpected places. The year is 1933. America is grappling with the Great Depression, and President Franklin D. Roosevelt is trying to steer the nation out of economic ruin with his New Deal programs. But imagine if, amidst this crisis, a group of powerful businessmen plotted to overthrow the government. That's the alarming allegation at the heart of the business plot. Our key witness, retired Marine Corps Major General Smedley Butler, a highly decorated veteran and two-time Medal of Honor recipient. Butler claimed that he was approached by a group of wealthy industrialists who were unhappy with Roosevelt's progressive policies. They allegedly offered him a blank check and a private army to lead a coup, aiming to install a fascist government modeled after Mussolini's Italy. A congressional committee investigated Butler's claims, but no charges were ever filed. The business plot, whether a serious threat or a fever dream, continues to fascinate historians and conspiracy theorists alike. It serves as a stark reminder of the potential for abuse of power, even in the heart of a democracy. Picture this: 1943, the height of World War II. A U.S. Navy destroyer, the USS Eldridge, sits in Philadelphia's harbor. But this is no ordinary warship. It's about to undergo a top-secret experiment, shrouded in mystery, and fueled by rumors of cutting-edge technology. The goal? To render the Eldridge invisible, using a revolutionary electromagnetic field. The story goes that the experiment worked, but with disastrous consequences. Witnesses claim the ship vanished in a blinding flash of light, only to reappear moments later in Norfolk, Virginia, hundreds of miles away. Some accounts even describe crew members fused to the ship's metal, driven mad by the experience. Despite the lack of official documentation and the Navy's insistence that the Eldridge was never even in Philadelphia at the time, the story captured the public imagination. The Philadelphia experiment became a cultural phenomenon, inspiring books, movies, and countless theories about teleportation, time travel, and the limits of human knowledge. While the official record contradicts the story, the legend of the Philadelphia experiment persists. The night of July 6, 2013, began like any other in Lac-Mégantic, a small town nestled amidst the picturesque lakes and rolling hills of Quebec, Canada. But in the early morning hours, tragedy struck, forever altering the town's landscape and the lives of its inhabitants. A runaway train, carrying 72 tankers of crude oil, derailed in the heart of Lac-Mégantic. The impact triggered a series of massive explosions, unleashing a fiery inferno that engulfed the town center. 47 people lost their lives, homes were reduced to rubble, and the downtown core was left in ruins. The disaster exposed a chain of failures, from lax safety regulations to inadequate braking systems on the train. Canada's Transportation Safety Board concluded that the disaster was preventable, citing a weak safety culture within the railway company. The Lac-Mégantic disaster forced a national conversation about the need for stricter safety regulations in the rail industry. It's a story of loss, resilience, and the long road to recovery in the face of unimaginable tragedy. From the financial chaos of Wildcat Banks to the horrors of Colonia Dignidad, from whispers of a coup plot to the enduring legend of the Philadelphia experiment and the tragedy of Lac-Mégantic, we've journeyed through some of history's lesser-known corners. These stories, though often overlooked, offer valuable insights into the complexities of human nature, the unintended consequences of our actions, and the ever-evolving relationship between power, technology, and society. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to The Silent Newsroom for more hidden histories and untold stories. Remember, history isn't just about dates and names and textbooks. It's about the stories we tell, the lessons we learn, and the connections we make. See you next time.